Hey, First SF family. As I'm sure you've heard, there are some new masking mandates in our city, and I wanted to take just a moment to tell you about how that applies to us at First SF. For our worship services, if you're vaccinated, masking is going to be encouraged, and if you're unvaccinated, masking is going to be required. Now, for our First Kids and First Youth ministries, those requirements are going to be a little bit different because they follow school protocols, and those ministry leaders will be communicating to those in those ministries specifically. But for our worship services, if you're vaccinated, masking is going to be encouraged, and if you're unvaccinated, masking is going to be required. Now, this is going to be very similar to what you hear from other businesses or other guidelines. The only thing that might be different is that in some places, if you're vaccinated, masking is optional or not required. And we're just using the language of encouraged, mostly because we want everyone to feel comfortable coming to join us in worship. We want to make these changes as gradual and as easy as possible. And so we want to continue to encourage masking if you're vaccinated. And if you're unvaccinated, masking is required. Now, we're not going to check vaccination status at the door. We're going to trust that you're following the proper guidelines. And I think we have good reason to trust that because throughout this whole pandemic, our church has done a great job of navigating all these changes together. There's been such a spirit of love, of unity, of Christ-likeness that I think not only sets a good example for our congregation, but for our community and our city as a whole. And I know that that's going to continue. So most of all, we want to encourage you to join us on Sundays at 10:30 as we worship God together.